Go. All right.
At this time, to present the title belt to the new champion, our president, the distinguished Jack Tunney.
Congratulations, Ric Flair, on becoming the undisputed champion of the World Wrestling Federation.
Let me just say, after Vito distorting the belt, they're proclaiming the real world champion. I'm going to tell you all, with a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
And welcome to the War Report, the Royal Rumble Edition 2016. I had to start off with my favorite promo of all time for my favorite Rumble of all time.
Well done.
Ric Flair.
Love what you did there. Love what you did there.
I tried. I want to switch it up every now and again. Got to keep people guessing. So I have my little iPad set up here. And I thought that was appropriate because we were going to do this Rumble pick thing, and we'll get into that in a second. This is the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, if I can talk tonight.
Live!
Live! That's how you can tell when I fuck up, because if this was a regular podcast, I would just cut that part out. We had a Rumble Pick'em thing, and I was getting Ryan, because we were discussing the other day what exactly Ryan does as an intern.
Yeah.
So we decided that he was the spreadsheet guy.
I sent out a form over the weekend that no one...
And I'll look at that form and we can fill it out now as we go live because we can make our picks on
I
there.
only put out a question.
Yeah.
Just one to test it out to see if it worked.
Nobody tested it out.
If it worked, yeah, no one gave it.
Well, I'm sure it'll work because it's that collaboration thing on the Microsoft Office 365 or whatever it is. So it seems
the Google actually.
It's the Google Doc. Yeah, that'll work.
I think we can just wing it at this point.
Well, the WWE totally fucked my scoring because I wanted to try and have everybody guess who like the number 1 and the number 30 and like legends and surprises and shit, and then they're like, guess what? We're just gonna tell you who's number 1 anyway, and blew the whole gimmick. So we'll just do another version of Rumble picks as we go on tonight.
We also have got 5 matches.
Yes, we have other matches too.
All the titles are on the line.
Yeah, because they added Kalisto getting his rematch, which is nice.
I don't know why they gave it to him in the first place.
I have to
take it away from him the next fucking day.
It's not right. That was a shitty thing
the belt
to
off
do.
him already. What the hell?
If you're gonna give the belt to the kid, yeah,
made no sense.
If you're gonna give it to him, give it to him. Even if it's like a day is pretty shitty. A week,
shitty.
Fine, whatever. Is still shitty, but not as shitty.
At least it wasn't 24 hours like Kane.
Yes. Oh. Well, it was.
And he still has yet to have a WWE title run.
Who, Kane?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Maybe I'm old.
It's not gonna happen. I just said.
Maybe I'm old school. I almost said maybe I'm old. Maybe in some people's eyes.
We let you slide on that one, Eric. We're giving you one.
I may be old school, but I despise hot potato title changes. I hate it.
Yeah, me too. I'm right there with you.
I hear you.
Even the whole Sheamus Roman Reigns thing was a little fast.
Yeah.
It went from Roman for 5 minutes or whatever the fuck to Sheamus for like 3 weeks or whatever. And then back to Roman, and now Roman has to defend it against 29 other men, 1 versus all.
What should have happened is...
It's yet another short title reign.
Seriously.
And there's a very good chance he'll lose it. He might even be eliminated before the last one is eliminated.
Final 4.
You think so? Well, all right. We should.
I think it's gonna last till. I'm just saying,
What would be crazy is... Final 4, the 3 Wyatt family members in Brock Lesnar.
Oh. Yeah, if it was like...
They definitely did a teasing of that feud.
And that's a good feud. I don't know if I want to see that
about it. I'm on the fence on that.
You give Brock, eliminate everybody up to Bray. Bray dumps him out while he's eliminating another Wyatt family member.
How legit does he look though? If Bray Wyatt look if he wins the title? With guys like Brock in the Rumble, he looks he's made the way that he could have been made by beating John Cena at WrestleMania 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it is. he could be made for real this time.
In my opinion, Roman Reigns is keeping the title.
Me too.
I mean, he's number one. He's going to literally go through the entire roster. They're going to make him this Superman, and he is going to retain the title.
And then who does he defend the belt against?
I think the reason why they started the Bray Wyatt Brock Lesnar thing on Raw is simply to start that, and they're going to eliminate each other. Brock is going to eliminate the entire Wyatt family, and then somehow, I bet you Brock and Bray eliminate each other. And that's how you get the Wyatts out, and that's how you get Brock out.
Is this for Fastlane or for WrestleMania? Because Fastlane breaks the shit up.
Well, I know that they're trying to make Fastlane a bigger pay-per-view than it really is. So
I'm so glad you said it that way.
Well, so I think that's where they're going with it. But there's no way Roman Reigns is losing. Now, after I saw Raw, there's absolutely no way.
But if he beats 29 guys, he beats the entire roster. Who's left? Who fights him after this? Do they bring back Jesus Christ? Like, who do we got?
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
No, the other King of Kings.
What if...
That's really it.
What if The Rock challenged Roman?
That would be kind of disappointing, actually.
Why in the fuck would that be disappointing?
How many Samoans do we really need on the show?
Is Ryan sideways to anyone else?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. Ryan is sideways.
Hey, better?
Okay. I thought I was going fucking crazy.
No.
I
saw it
with
too.
my phone here. It's just...
We were talking about Roman Reigns running the gauntlet and running the table in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I want to have that thought continue, but I did notice he was like 90 degrees the wrong way.
Well, the only reason is I say it would be disappointing. What are the chances of The Rock winning?
0.0.
Nice Howard Stern reference.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm just saying, if you have another 2 matches back to back with Roman Reigns having no chance of losing.
Let me tell you something, intern. You and I don't agree on much.
Damn.
But I actually agree with him on that point. I agree with you, but I think. All right, let's and please do not. This is going to come out the way you. It's not the way it's supposed to come out, but it's going to. Rock Hogan. I'm not saying that Roman Reigns is anywhere in the caliber of either Rock or Hogan.
Yeah, I know.
But Rock Hogan, going into that match, you knew Rock was going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it didn't take away from the match. The match was outstanding. Everything about it was great.
Yeah, but The Rock had already been to the mountaintop, if you will.
Yeah.
Like The Rock was already a made guy before this with the whole Austin Rock feud. He hasn't had that making feud yet, so I don't know if that would be the right call. Maybe that's the feud that makes it. That's
what I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say it would be bad. It just there's no tension to the match.
They would have to be prepared and willing, most of all, to turn Roman heel if the crowd goes with it. Because when The Rock goes out there...
They're not going to turn on Rock.
They would have to do a lot to get the number one, according to WWE.com, now the number one box office draw in the world, in the fucking world, is The Rock.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. This is a guy who was wearing a tutu in a fucking movie about 12 years ago, and he was a scorpion. He was a CGI scorpion.
Yep.
That looked like it came off the PlayStation 1.
Eyebrow in that movie too, as the Scorpion.
Yeah, they always had him do that shit. They had him do like a rock bottom on Star Trek Voyager. I don't know. They had 7 of 9 fighting in some kind of Delta Quadrant Fight Club underground pit ring thing, and The Rock's got these fucking like the wrinkles and the nubs and the ridges and shit.
Like Worf.
Yeah, he looks like Worf. But he's still got that, like, I'm going bald, but I'm cutting my hair in a fade anyway haircut. And he's rock bottoming 7 of 9. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? They always want to put, whenever a wrestler comes out within the first, like, couple years of them being an actor, they always want to put wrestling moves in their fucking movies. And always is some hacky thing like that, and it's terrible.
Yeah, kind of like Triple H and Blade.
I like that fight, though, with the armbar.
Yeah, that was
fun. What the fuck is happening with Ryan?
Wait a minute.
Ryan just dropped the mic. What does he think he's that?
He's like Hector. All right, so we already started talking about the Rumble, which is one of our topics, but we'll go over our 5 topics because I've already forgot them. So let me play the intro music and
Maybe
my boy.
Ryan will be back by then.
Yeah, maybe then Ryan will be back by then. Who knows? My boy. Eric Friedman will go over the Friedman 5, our 5 topics of the week. Once again, this is the War Report, brought to you by TagMeDate.com, live Tuesday nights on YouTube. Look it up.
And you're going to get a 5 count. Do you hear that? You're going to get a 5 count.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more time to keep your ass alive.
The funeral was pretty good last night. I don't know if you saw that on Raw.
Yeah, the
Funeral was
trombone.
Oh,
fantastic.
yes.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Jessica, Fran, and then JBL kept doing it. Okay, that was good. They sold me on that one. But go ahead, Eric.
Rest in peace, Francesca. Rest in peace.
That's what the show is dedicated to Francesca.
Okay. we got Raw. We got the Royal Rumble, and since we already started on that one. We got Sunny and her Hall of Fame ring fiasco bullshit that we're going to talk about. We got Josh, Tough Enough winner, talking all sorts of crap on Twitter and is basically getting himself banned from the main roster locker room. Not a good call, dude. And
Well, you're not supposed to talk shit and then get banned from a locker room?
who knew?
He is he is way too low on the fucking totem pole to be talking any kind of shit to he is a nobody.
Absolutely.
How can you
Fucking
call
nobody.
somebody a jobber? You haven't even been on television, and you're calling somebody a jobber.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's going nowhere. He's going nowhere.
He's definitely going nowhere.
Good job, bro.
Especially now. Now ZZ's the only one with a shot from that show.
Sadly.
And I don't like him either.
I can't stand that guy. If you watch Breaking Ground, he's so freaking lazy. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and I know they might ham that up as a reality show, and they have, like, it's reality with quotes around it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
think that's pretty much him.
I don't find him likable at all.
There's nothing marketable or likable about that guy. Just he's a Gator wrestler.
I happen to disagree. I like him.
Oh,
I mean, yes, he is lazy, but he's hilarious. And he seems to be an all-around nice kid, too. The kind of kid like you kind of root for, but...
Breaking Ground made me like guys
lazy
that
storyline.
What?
I said you could do stuff with him being lazy on the a storyline with it.
With him and Bull.
Actually roll with it.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And then
Bull Dempsey could be his personal trainer.
That too.
Yeah, just go on the bullfit diet.
That might actually be the perfect thing for the guy.
That would be funny. But and then the other thing that I thought we might discuss is JR is now going to New Japan to commentate. I don't think it's full time, but still, that's pretty big.
By God, Nakamura.
He's broken in half
I just want to hear him pronounce Japanese names all day.
in an Oklahoma accent. That's great.
Kazuichi Okada, Rainmaker. Oh yes, please more of that. Absolutely, I support JR calling New Japan matches.
But,
it would be good.
Back to, I guess, the Rumble. But before we begin, I also want to say.
Well, before the Rumble, we should start with Raw. But go ahead.
Yes, but I was just going to say condolences to the family of the late Iron Mike Sharp.
Yeah, he deserved better than the recognition they gave him on TV.
And he was one of my favorite, and I don't mean this term as disrespectful, but jobbers of the time, because he was, these guys, he was one of the greats that made people look really good,
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of my favorite enhancement talents that they had. So, rest in peace, brother.
Hey, somebody's got to make everybody look good.
That's right.
That's what people don't understand about the concept of jobbers. Like, even I think maybe Zack Ryder doesn't understand the concept of being a jobber.
See, that's the thing. There are no jobbers like that anymore, and Zack Ryder unfortunately became one.
But they should, Zack Ryder is the idea behind a guy like a Brooklyn Brawler, or behind a Barry Horowitz, or a Iron Mike Sharp. He's like a guy, like a normal-ish guy who you can relate to, who looks good and can wrestle real well. He's a good hand, but he just comes up short. And that's fine, because he made a fucking career out of it. Iron Mike Sharp made a living out of jobbing, so it can be done.
I think they could have done more with Zack Ryder, though.
Yeah, I don't see him on that jobber level. I see him as slightly above that. Heath Slater, though, is pretty good.
Slater's slowly climbing in my book because, first of all, he got rid of that fucking Wendy's haircut.
We lost Ryan again.
Oh my God, we should. Does anybody have? We should all have Halloween masks and just put them on. Hey, buddy, welcome back.
Nice to meet you.
It's like, hey, you're removed from the call. No, I'm not.
Are you on your cell phone right now?
Oh, unfortunately, if you didn't hear, my motherboard died on my computer.
I'm sorry. How's the fatherboard taking it?
Not well. He committed suicide.
Did he jump off the North Bridge or the South Bridge? I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop making computer jokes.
He jumped off the north and went south.
Oh, man, that's too bad. Are you on 3G or are you on Wi-Fi? What the fuck are you on?
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Then why are you dropping?
I don't know. I have 30 gigs.
All right. Well, I mean,
it is like, my router's 2 feet from me. You couldn't ask for a better situation.
You have to find a way to plug the Ethernet cable directly into your cell phone. Figure it out. So where were we after Ryan's disconnection?
I think we should jump into Raw.
Yeah, I actually watched Raw last night. Shock and awe and gasp.
And you didn't even pick one of the better ones. I mean,
seriously, that was pretty rough. Oh my God.
Listen, it wasn't terrible, but I wanna break a couple of things down, right? So let's talk about Vince McMahon for a minute. And I love the fact that I'm seeing him every week now. I love the music. I love everything about him. I love seeing Vince. And I love segments with Vince. But this one was fucking brutal. This whole thing with rolling the balls and doing the lottery with stuff. And then here's the thing. You just got Vince McMahon, the most diesel 70-year-old fucking guy I've ever seen. This guy was on Muscle Fitness with chains, looking like a fucking beast, a freak of nature at 70. I will never look that good. And he couldn't open a plastic fucking ball. And then, if anyone didn't think every one of those balls had Roman Reigns, I mean, it was a waste of, 25 minutes? It was a horrible, drawn-out segment, and
I bet it was only like 10 minutes long, but it felt like 25.
It felt like an hour.
Yeah, it really did.
It was fucking brutal, bro. I mean, it was just whoever wrote that,
Vince.
Somebody needs to sit down and reevaluate that.
It was more of an editing and a timing thing. Like, that's the thing about comedy, is that it's quick and it's funny. Like, if the balls opened up right away and it lasted, like a tight 7 minutes,
right,
it would have been great. Like, it would have been a great 7-minute segment. Not everything has to be This Is Your Life with Mankind and The Rock.
Right.
Like, you don't need to be a long, drawn-out thing, like quick hitters.
Because it's not going to be as entertaining as that. You know what I mean?
No, you're going to lose. The longer you go, the more attention spans you're going to lose.
And I got to tell you something else. This whole fucking League of Nations is just god-awful. It is. The music pisses me off. I cannot stand the music.
I want them to come out with those big... You know when you see a UN thing and they have the big white translator headset on?
Yeah.
I want them to all come out wearing those and just have like a UN flag with them. Like it is ridiculous. They have nothing in common aside from the fact that they're foreign. It's kind of racist almost.
Well, yeah, it sucks. It's just brutal. Everything about it, you know what I mean?
Rusev deserves better.
Yeah, he really does.
Rusev cut a fucking great promo. This is what pissed me off. Rusev cut a great promo, and then Chris Jericho buried it by going, I don't speak English. And then he goes, you must be stupid. That's why you don't understand. And I'm like, yeah, fight back, Rusev. That's some bullshit. He downplayed your promo because you can't speak English. That's fucking wrong.
I also like how Jericho kept implying as he's one of the favorites to win the fucking Rumble.
Yeah.
Get over yourself, bro. You are the Ayatollah of rock and roll, but this is wrestling. And
5 years ago, yeah.
I texted Alexis. She wasn't watching the show. I said, oh, Homeless Bon Jovi just came out. She's like, I didn't even need to say who it was. I already knew who you're talking about.
You know, and it's a shame. I like Jericho, but, you know, his promos are getting real cheese. And like,
they are.
The Rudy Tooty Booty thingy, like all that shit. Like,
I think they're doing that purposely.
Yeah, I think that's his thing. Is he's going to turn this into a heel thing where he just overuses.
Well, listen, he's always been much better as a heel, so I'm all for that.
Yeah.
So you know, I think that was all right. The Paul Heyman again, best part of the night. Killed it. We just.
Bye, Ryan.
Best part of the night was his promo. It was fantastic, and then of course the Brock Lesnar exchange with Roman, and then the Wyatts. That was awesome, and that starts to add another element into the Rumble, which we'll get into. But I thought that was good. Other than that, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I do love what they're doing with Charlotte, and I just every time Rick comes out and he starts dancing to her music.
I wanted to mention that. Thank you.
It's just awesome, man. So I love that. And Becky Lynch, another awesome promo and a phenomenal in-ring performance. I'm getting real high on Becky Lynch. I like her a lot.
Becky kills it. These promos, she's standing up. Hold on a second. Turn my camera back on. She is standing up to Ric Flair on the microphone. How many men do that? How many men stand in the ring and go toe-to-toe with Ric Flair and look completely fucking stupid? Like when The Miz was being given the figure four. How fucking stupid did he look trying to take over that role?
Yep, absolutely.
She stood up to him like Ricky Steamboat did. You know, it's not something that happens a lot. And that was what you can sense the tension there with her and Rick, with Charlotte and Rick.
Yes,
like,
you know what?
The best of all time.
You know what though? If you really like look at the situation, and you look at where they came from, right? Mm-hmm. Becky Lynch and Charlotte grew up together basically in NXT. So you have to figure Becky Lynch has known Rick for a very long time now, because you got to figure Rick was constantly at the Performance Center working with Charlotte and probably working with Becky too. So the fact that they're on that kind of level personally, it makes it that much easier to be able to portray what they're portraying. And that's why it's coming across so great on camera, because there's so much chemistry.
And Hector was the one that brought all this up too.
Huh?
A week or so ago, he's like Hector, my favorite thing is the feud between Becky and Charlotte, and the look on Charlotte's face when Flair accepted on her behalf was awesome.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. Everything about it, the whole segment was great. It was well done.
Tension there if she loses, if Charlotte loses, then there's tension between, there's heat between her and Rick, and that adds another layer to the story.
Right. Oh, hold on. We got something else we got to talk about.
Bro, we need to put it on poll, bro.
I have officially figured out who in the WWE now has taken down the Bellas with the most heel face turns possible.
Big
and
Show.
It is now officially Big Show and Paige.
Paige,
The last time we saw Natalya, Paige attacked her from behind, and now came out as her BFF. Congrats to Natalya for actually winning a match, although she did not one fucking move except the sharpshooter. So that was kind of bizarre. But, you know, I mean, sometimes I really think they think we're stupid.
Yeah. I was
we
hoping-
forget these things.
I was
Hey.
hoping Tyson would hobble his ass out there.
That's what I was thinking.
That was last week. People don't remember last week.
And Paige, for whatever reason, looked extra milky. I don't know why. She looked paler than normal.
Texturally?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
I
don't
agree.
know what
She
it was.
looks like she
Maybe
lost
she didn't
a
put any
few,
spray tan.
pigments.
Maybe she comes out as white as she does with spray tan on, and she didn't put it on this time, and that's
Oh
her
my
truth.
God.
Could you imagine? Fucking head. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you think? What do you think if you turn out the lights? Would her skin glow? Would she glow in the dark?
I would. I'm gonna leave that alone.
He's a married man, ladies and gentlemen. He can't answer
Leave
that
that
question.
alone.
You can't. I'll answer that for you.
Yeah, I'm not married either. So
Well, then you guys can all say what I'm thinking.
That's right. You two go at it.
Daddy
I have a
like.
girlfriend I like very much. Okay, there we go. Eric said it.
Daddy
Daddy
like.
like.
That's all I come up with. Daddy like.
I'm actually really happy.
I'm a
I was
man, for Christ's
disappointed.
sake.
I was actually really disappointed when Becky came up and it seemed like they weren't using her as much and they were leaning more on like Sasha and more on Charlotte. With this injury or whatever it is with Sasha, it's given Charlotte a chance, or Becky a chance to shine with Charlotte and put on some really great matches and start this whole angle and she's been cutting promo after promo, SmackDown, Raw, whatever. That's just been
Home run.
intense. Yeah, home run. They're real. They feel real. So she's awesome. Bye, Ryan. And Bayley is the luckiest person in the world to get a shoulder injury or whatever the hell it was at that point, because now she is the queen of NXT, unless Asuka kicks the crown off her head. That's how.
Well, and then it's kind of looking that way.
Yeah, but she had a good
Deserving, mind you.
Bayley wouldn't have had as good a run on the main roster as even Becky does or Sasha does. Bayley, I think, needed more time in the crock pot, so to speak. So it was good
She
for her to
needed
get
be that number one in NXT for a while.
Yeah.
To get a taste of it. But real quick, going back to the whole thing with Charlotte, since we're talking about that, and like you just said, it adds a little layer to it with some kind of dissension between her and her father, which I love. And I'm thinking I think the Flair with her is short term. I don't think it's going to be forever. And I'll tell you what, if you want to get real heat on Charlotte by kicking her father to the curb would bring it, because Ric Flair, let's be honest, it's hard to boo him.
He would have to do a lot.
You know what I mean?
A lot.
But by kicking him to the curb, Charlotte would get a lot of heat, and I think that would be a good thing ultimately. I think they should wait until WrestleMania for that moment, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would it make more sense to have that moment at WrestleMania with Becky winning the title?
It depends on what they're doing with the women at WrestleMania, because now Ronda asked for more time off from the UFC, and Stephanie put on Instagram a picture of her working out saying she's training for WrestleMania. So some shit is up with at least Steph. And based on what happened last year, I don't doubt they're going to try and make a play for Ronda. If that doesn't happen, Steph's going to have to wrestle somebody. So.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't know. This is a nice time of year because once we hit Sunday, we're off to the races here with wild speculation. So Raw,
we should start talking about the Rumble then.
Yeah, because Raw, my problem with Raw is what you said earlier, Steve. It wasn't that it was bad nor good. It was just there. Right. It was not noteworthy, aside from the fact that Roman Reigns got made number one, which everybody saw coming in a city bus down Broadway. There was nothing to talk about. Charlotte and Becky with Ric Flair, and the fact that and that funeral was funny, and the fact that Roman Reigns drew number one. That's it. That's all you needed to know. You could watch Raw in 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like a go-home show. It felt like
2
weeks out.
I mean, here's my thing, right? So Bless.
Oh, sorry.
I've been saying week after week, Brock is my pick to win. And as of Raw, that has officially changed. My thing is, if Roman Reigns is now going to be number one, and they're promoting this whole thing as one versus all, they are making Roman Reigns into Superman. He is going to be number one, and he is somehow going to win the Royal Rumble. I think Triple H is going to be number 30. I think the Bullet Club, or members of the Bullet Club, I'm not saying all, are going to have some sort of impact during the Rumble. Whether or not it's going to be the reason why Roman retains the title, there's a lot of speculation. But I don't see any way them promoting this and trying to make Roman the top face of the company to take away the belt.
Yeah, they booked themselves into a corner.
And that takes away from one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. Because in my head, I am convinced that I know how this is going to end. And I shouldn't know that. I mean, I already have a feeling Randy Orton is going to be a surprise return.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel this way for the Royal Rumble.
Right, and I do. I already know who number 1 is. I already have an idea of who 30 is. I already have figured out that now that they started this whole Brock Wyatt deal, Brock and Wyatt are going to wind up eliminating each other, so that's how you get them out. So it's just, it seems like it's going to be a very predictable, Royal Rumble. And even the Bullet Club showing up is kind of predictable at this point because it's all we've been hearing. You know, if they kept it quiet, and Vince wasn't tweeting pictures with himself wearing the fucking Bullet Club shirt. And
did
Finn
he really
Balor,
do that?
He did. He was in the gym wearing
did.
a Bullet Club shirt, working out, and he tweeted it out.
Jesus.
Yet Finn Balor wearing a Bullet Club shirt, standing outside the Performance Center looking at a watch saying, they should be here any minute.
You got me wearing a Bullet Club shirt.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and there he goes. So
That's going to be the highlight of tonight's show.
he's dropped out of the podcast more times than the Big Show's turned face and heel.
Yeah, we should count that.
We really
How
should.
many times? You're the Big Show tonight, Ryan. Every time you come back, you have to be babyface or heel. You just have to change every time.
But so I mean, it just kind of takes away. I mean, you got to figure Randy Orton. All we've been hearing is that he's cleared, ready to go. He's going to be a surprise. If they put Daniel Bryan in, they're as fucking stupid as I think they are because they'll have the same issue they had last year.
Could you fucking imagine?
I really will just be so angry at the stupidity because it'll be the same issue.
By the way, if by any stretch or by hook or by crook, Daniel Bryan comes back, and I cringe to say this because it's going to put it out into the universe. If he wins the goddamn Royal Rumble this year and wins the belt at the Royal Rumble, I'm done. I'm quitting the podcast. I'm going to think about just leaving wrestling altogether and living in a cave somewhere. I will cancel my cable. I will wear earplugs whenever I go to wrestling shows. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some repercussions in my personal life. I'm going to have to think deep down about what really is my motivation for being in the wrestling business if guys like that succeed and get over.
Hey,
so
Vince, that was pretty deep.
Vince,
I have some anger issues. I don't know.
That was pretty deep.
I'll tell you what, though, Vince, this would be quite the mindfuck. What if Bryan not only wins, but then turns and joins the Authority?
I'm not that far from Stanford. And to be fair, if I eat enough Moe's Mexican Grill, I can leave them a present on their doorstep. So there's that. That's really the only thing I can do at this point.
Well, I'll tell you what, Vince. My what I thought was my be-all, end-all was Taker's streak ending, and I moved on, and I'm still a wrestling fan.
I still hate that streak thing. That's a sore subject because I was there. Oof.
That's right.
How
close were you to the guy that went?
That guy was hard cam, so he was to my left. I was about 50, 60 rows back behind commentary. So if you're walking down the ramp, if you walk down the ramp to the ring, through commentary, all the way back, that's where I would be. So I got some nice pictures because I had a big fucking zoom lens that they somehow allowed me in with. But yeah, it was the whole place was devastated. There was that one guy who yelled, "You suck," right? Like there was one. No, everybody else was like, what? Like even like the little kid next to me was like, "They're gonna restart the match." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "There's a disqualification. They're gonna restart." I'm like, "I wish." Like, what happened? Like it. The match kind of ended out of nowhere. There was no real build, and I know Taker was fucked up. He had a concussion, all this stuff. So the match itself was just, it was the shits, you know. So it didn't feel like the streak should have ended with that match.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I know. If they had
change
the match, if they had that Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania, and Brock beat the streak, you wouldn't even be mad because that was a fucking good match. But the match that they lost the streak in really wasn't very notable aside from the fact that the streak ended. It was a very basic match.
Yeah, that pin, I was watching at Buffalo Wild Wings, that for the final pin, I kind of looked down at my phone because I'm like, oh, he's going to kick out 2.5.
Right? Yeah, everybody thought that. Fuck. Like that's the problem at the arena. We were all 1, 2 waiting for the kick out, and it's like it didn't go that way. So
wait, what just happened?
There was two. It took like an extra second and a half to process, but
I say in that arena, it seems like it took a good solid minute for everybody to process.
Yeah, it was rough.
I'll tell you what. God bless those divas for going out there after that.
Oh my God.
And then the crowd was so deflated that by the time Daniel Bryan had his moment, I didn't even give a shit anymore. I was like,
honestly, I left. Like as soon as he like got, what was it? He put out Batista in the yes lock or whatever it was. I was like, let's go. I grabbed my fucking jacket and just left. I was like, I know what's going on here.
That was still a cool moment.
No, it was great, and I loved it. But I would have loved it even more if Taker didn't just fucking lose.
You know what I would have loved if the Shield had a match that was longer than like 2 minutes and 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
They had the hottest.
They should have done Shield Wyatts at WrestleMania.
By Ryan. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they did a lot of things weird at that WrestleMania. For WrestleMania 30, that I don't know. I was expecting different stuff. I don't know. So your official prediction there, Steve-O, is that he runs the table. Roman Reigns goes 1 through 30, dumps everybody. Ooh-wah, Superman punches, etc.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to eliminate every person.
But he's going to last until the end and be the sole survivor of the Rumble.
100%.
Okay.
100%, and he's going to break the record.
That's your rule too, Eric? Is that your...
That's mine also. But Steve, you think he's going to break his own record?
Well, no, the record, it's not a record, but it's been 18 years since they've had back-to-back same person win.
Right. He could break Kane's record of most combined eliminations.
Right.
Can he?
I think. I mean, he got... One year he got close to Kane's record.
No, he tied Kane's the year he won it.
No, he beat Kane's record the year he won it.
He tied it the year before, I think.
Yeah.
So he might be able to break it this year, but then he would have to eliminate like a substantial amount of people.
Yeah. No, but he needs to be in a few more Rumbles to be able to get to Kane's like ultimate, Royal Rumble
form. Yeah.
But yeah, that's mine too. Reigns wins.
I don't know how Reigns doesn't win, unfortunately.
Only because they booked themselves into a corner yet again.
I hope it doesn't turn the crowd on them.
I think the only way to prevent the crowd from shitting on him is for a heel to go over. So maybe Triple H has to win the Rumble.
Not happening. I'm telling you right now.
But see,
the reason why the crowd is not going to turn in the Rumble is because the Bullet Club is going to show up.
But isn't that going to...
I'm telling you. And that's how they're going to prevent it. Because imagine this. AJ Styles shows up and costs Triple H the Rumble.
So you're saying Roman Reigns is aligned with the Bullet Club?
I'm not saying that. But
Okay, that's how they
It'd
start.
be
a
like
triple-
Sting saving.
it's really going to be
Okay.
them against the Authority.
All right.
More of what I'm going to say
I
is,
suppose.
isn't it going to be like a Daniel Bryan effect that you're going to have this big new property come in, they're going to get dumped out somehow, and the
Yeah, I
crowd's
don't
just
know.
going to be pissed.
I don't know
Doesn't
if
necessarily
WrestleMania-
mean that they'll be in the actual Rumble.
Right.
They
Right.
might
I don't
just-
think they're going to be in it. They're going to
Yeah,
just.
if they don't
they're
enter
gonna,
the Rumble, they'll be fine.
They're going to come
Yeah.
through the crowd and just jump in the shit.
Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. If that takes place, right? And wouldn't that if that potentially starts a Bullet Club or AJ versus Triple H, then where does that leave Reigns for WrestleMania? Especially if Brock and Bray are going to be busy with each other.
Yeah. Or if you
that
do
keeps it
a-
open right now. I
Keeps
mean,
open for The Rock.
If
well,
you do,
and listen, you
That
have.
does open, yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of options if you really think about it. There's a
you
ton of
could
options.
do.
You could throw Owens up in the top. You can throw Brock. If do the Owens Brock, that gets rid of Brock. You know what I mean? There's so many avenues. You know, Triple H is going to wrestle.
Yes.
That's coming. You know, so it's just too early to tell. You know, we have to see what's.
But
gonna
is this going to be our WrestleMania 21 or 22 or whatever it is, where Triple H does the Triple H thing where he buries Roman Reigns for like 6-8 weeks and then puts him over clean in the main event?
Probably. I mean, how else are they going to do it?
I suffered through 10 years of John Cena waiting for the day that his body fell apart to the point where he wouldn't be in the main event anymore. It's finally happened, and they found somebody worse. I don't understand. It's like when what's that movie? One of the guys that played Batman, and they keep cloning him, and every clone is dumber than the next.
Oh, Multiplicity? I love that movie.
Yes. Okay. You see where I'm coming from here.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, right?
Because he made a copy of a copy.
Right. See, this is what we're doing. You had Hulk Hogan, and then you made a copy, and he turned into John Cena, and then you made a copy of that, and it was Roman Reigns, and yeah, it's like making a copy of a copy. The guy's shaving his tongue with shaving cream and a razor. Like, this is the point we're at. And yes, I'm using a Multiplicity reference in the year 2016.
That's crazy.
I like pizza. I like it.
What?
Oh my God! It happened again.
This fucking
This should
guy.
be the new drinking game.
Shots. Oh, so let's talk about Sonny. Let's talk.
Fuck her!
Oh wow. Is
No,
there any? I guess there's really no
I'm
conversation. huh?
so fucking. Listen. Are times that tough? I know you're Skyping and showing your tits and all that for money, but are times that tight that you feel you have to pawn your Hall of Fame ring? They need to
Apparently so.
remove her immediately. She has no business being in the Hall of Fame. She's
Yeah,
a joke. Like, I used to
Yell
love
back
Sonny.
to them.
I have no respect for her. She is a piece of shit, and I hope she goes back on drugs.
Terrible.
I love that final line. I hope she goes back on drugs.
Really, like that's just a zinger at the end there, dude.
Yeah, it is. Jeez.
That's how I'm feeling right now. Sorry.
Who was it? Vivid offered to buy it if she did a scene. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was $100,000, I think. They
And she had to
offered.
do what? Anal or
For
like
the-
what?
I think it was just a sex scene. I don't think they
Oh, wow.
specifically said anal.
Okay.
I would still watch. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there.
You know what the porno would have to be, right? The porno would have to be
Wrestling.
her. It would no. Here's what it would be. It would be part wrestling. It would be in the locker room, because she'd go into one locker room and she'd bang a guy with bleach blonde hair that looked like Candido, and then she'd sneak out right after they had sex and go into another room and bang a guy that looked like Sean.
I was gonna say she
That's
was
the whole
gonna-
scene. And then right at the end, Vince McMahon kicks the door and he goes, "Suck my dick! I invented WrestleMania!"
I was gonna say she was gonna blow Vince, but you
Well, Joey Ryan's available.
Yes, apparently so. King of Dong style, Joey Ryan. Oh, God. This Sonny thing, yeah, you're right, man. How tight is money that you sell your Hall of Fame ring?
I think it's not the money thing. I think she's just has an axe to grind.
But what? No, but she does.
What extra grind? They put her in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm not. I didn't say it was a justified extra grind.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
I just said she feels like she has an axe to grind. It wasn't legit. She's pissed.
Like,
For
part of
whatever
me,
reason, she's pissed at the WWE.
part of me really wants to message her on Facebook.
Hey, you can get a Skype session with her still.
Sonny, can
We
I
should-
can
we
I
should,
pay
chip
$5 a
in.
minute to talk about Sean and
Can
Candido?
we have you as a guest on our podcast?
Yeah,
Via
just chip in and.
I wouldn't pay that bitch a penny.
No, no. Fuck that shit.
Would you chip in to buy the ring to make sure that it was properly displayed somewhere with the respect it deserved?
You know why I wouldn't want it? Because it would have her name engraved on it. I
That's
don't want it.
That could be melted off.
That ruins the value to me.
Could you imagine WWE Hall of Fame ring with Steve's name on it?
Now we're talking.
There you go. You can put it in diamonds. Maron. What else was on the docket here, Friedman?
Josh basically becoming banning himself.
Oh my God!
Douchebag! He's a douchebag!
Is he tough enough?
He's a douchebag!
He won't be.
Is he douche enough?
I loved watching, like it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. It was beautiful and sensual all at the same time.
Did you guys actually like see the tweets from?
I read it
some
today and I was like,
because
wow.
there were they had this is great. Stardust was the first one to like
Yo,
and like
was
he was.
fucking
I'm looking
pissed.
for the tweets right now, so I can.
He said, Stardust said something about not blocked but banned. Have fun dressing in the hallway. He called it Dick from the Stardust account. Not even like Cody's personal account. From the Stardust account, he called the guy a dick. I'm like, there you go. That's how you know somebody's mad.
Listen, I mean, you know, I
They
don't
got Kevin
think
Owens riled up as well.
nobody there would say anything. So listen, so in case anyone out there is listening that didn't hear it,
Read them off.
he says, "Yep, I like it." # social jobbers, talking about the social outcast.
It sounded like he was
So-
trying to be complimentary, though.
Yeah, it did sound a bit
Yeah,
more
but at the
compliment.
end of the day,
But at the
you
same
do
time,
not
you
call
can't use
any
the
of them
term.
jobbers. Like that's just so Stardust. As
Out of
you said,
respect, you don't call them jobbers,
He'd
right?
be lucky to be a jobber.
Yeah.
So Stardust, as you said, he said, enjoy dressing in the hall, Dick, not blocked, banned. And then Curtis Axel, he goes, haha, who is this douche? Cool tweet, delete punk ass. And then Kevin Owens goes ballistic. So Kevin Owens goes, look at the veteran here with the big fancy insider terms.
I loved that.
He goes, I blocked him, felt great. Let him LOL. People like him fizzle out by themselves pretty quick anyway. He is not our peer. So you're done. He's done before his career ever gets started, and he had the opportunity of a
And I
lifetime.
loved how
And
Brooke
fuck him.
Dempsey was trying to be like the voice of reason between them, but ultimately he was like, he's like, I cannot side with you because you
Yeah, he can't.
are disrespecting all these people that we are striving to be.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Oh, I'm looking at my old calendar from 2015. It's a WWE calendar because I always get those as gifts, and I've got to put up 2016's, but I actually haven't changed my calendar since May. I just realized the wrestler for May is Alberto Del Rio. It's kind of, I don't want to say racist, but maybe a little cultural that the Mexican guy is on May.
Cinco de Mayo.
That's hilarious. That's funny. Did we talk about live on the air this whole Kalisto?
No.
No. I really would like somebody to try and explain to me what the purpose of giving Kalisto the title was if you were going to literally take it away the next night because SmackDown. Oh no, it's live now or whatever. A few days later, like I don't understand. What was the purpose of it? It was stupid. Now we have to sit through a rematch where I can't see Alberto losing. So what was the point of giving it to Kalisto in the first place?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. I
When
feel
they
bad
pop-
because I'm rooting
That
for the
grinds
yeah.
my gears.
I was pumped when he won. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then you ruined it. I don't understand. It makes no sense. And then, did you guys hear, too, apparently WWE sent a very lucrative offer to Shawn Michaels to be a surprise in the Rumble, and he declined.
He doesn't want to wrestle anymore.
Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to be a surprise. I mean,
He's adamant about sticking to his word and staying retired, unlike Ric Flair.
I might have an explanation for the title change.
Go ahead.
If Rusev was hurt, Barrett was hurt. If
Barrett's
both
still
those,
hurt.
Yeah, I think Barrett might be able to actually function with the group. If both Rusev's now wrestling, if Rusev was out, they'd just disband the League of Nations. But Rusev's fine, so they continued on with the League of Nations and gave the title back to Del Rio just to have a belt on him.
No, to me that makes absolutely no. One shouldn't have anything to do with the other at this point. It was.
I'm not
stupid.
saying it made a ton of sense. It's WWE logic. That's all.
I'll give you that.
I almost feel like it was a test run to see if he could handle it. But
That
you
might
give
be
the guy a week or two, man.
Or to see what the crowd reaction would
Right.
be. And,
Like
and
when
the
they
crowd
did
reaction was great.
Yeah, remember
They
when they did
popped
that
real
with Chris Jericho? They made everybody think Chris Jericho won the world title
Oh
on
my
Raw
God,
from
I
Triple
hate
H.
that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that
that
was-
still bothers me to this day. But yeah, that's what I feel like it was one of
Would
those
it have
kind
been
of
so
things.
bad to give Chris Jericho a run then? He was so popular then.
He was. That was the time. Because I didn't like that he was the first undisputed WWE champion.
Wasn't that his first title win though? Big was the undisputed.
Yeah, but I didn't
It was.
really like it because to me, and I'm a diehard and always will be. When I'm gonna sound like a fucking old man, I'm a diehard WCW guy. I always saw and still see Chris Jericho as a WCW guy. I thought the first undisputed WWE champion should be a guy like The Rock or Stone Cold who defined their career in the WWF rather than somebody who came in just a couple years ago. So that was my only gripe about it. It ended up, and then it ended up that he put over fucking. It all just was a gimmick to get Triple H the title at WrestleMania anyway. So that
The
was kind of
booking-
shitty.
And I'm sorry, the booking of Chris Jericho in that feud was just that whole feud was just awful.
Oh yeah.
The whole breakup between Trips and Steph and the dog.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was the worst booking, and it's no wonder that and they should have known that wouldn't be a good follow to Hogan Rock.
No, really wasn't.
No, Hogan
huge-
Rock should have main evented that.
Regardless of the title, Hogan
Right.
Rock was the main event.
Bye, Ryan.
Oh, Ryan.
But yeah, no, I agree. I would have given Jericho the title back in 2000. Have a little trial run, and then have somebody else as the undisputed champion. Then Jericho could win it again later on, or whatever. But
Yeah.
they should have given him a belt in 2000 when he was really over.
Yeah, and that
Would
would have
have
been a good
helped.
time for his first title win and all that. It would have been a nice little test, like an acid test there, but they did what
They
they
could
did.
have at least held the title change back to Triple H till the pay-per-view instead of the same night.
Right. And that's the same argument we're making now. It's fucking stupid.
I would have. In fact, I actually would have given it to him until like right before SummerSlam, so they could have that big SummerSlam match between Rock and Triple H
True.
and an Angle. But and then Benoit could cost Jericho the thing, so they could do the big Jericho Benoit SummerSlam match like they had. But yeah, it's the same thing. Kalisto winning was awesome, and the crowd loved it, and it was just it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, it happened. Yeah. Do we want to record? Now, are we going to do a year of recording our picks?
Yeah,
Like
that's.
for-
I'm
for
gonna
pay-per-views.
sit down and I have access to a computer in a few minutes. I'm gonna drop a Google sheet for the Rumble and send it out to everybody.
All right, excellent. So why don't we just verbally now? So
That's what I was gonna say. We'll do it
follow
verbally
along.
and go from there. Unfortunately, with playing with my cell phone, it's a little bit harder to.
Oh God,
make
I
a
thought you
Google
were playing
sheet.
with yourself. Yo,
No.
we all thought the same thing.
I was
Okay.
thinking the same thing.
Oh Jesus.
I was like, oh my God, that's
Welcome
not
to that
good
show.
be on the air.
Well, give a new sunny delight to that.
All right, so we'll start from the bottom.
Sorry.
New Day versus the Usos, who now dab, and it's the corniest shit I've ever seen when they do. Like, come on, man, you fucking quit it. New Day versus Usos tag team titles.
Usos.
Who does everybody got? Usos?
I'm going
Yeah.
New Day.
I'm going Usos.
Damn, I don't even have an answer.
I'd like to see the New Day retain because what are the Usos just came back? Why should they get?
They won the tag team of the year and they weren't there for half the year.
Yeah, it didn't make any.
Listen, what you want and what you think is going to happen are two totally different things. I would like the New Day to keep the titles, but I think the Usos are winning.
I'm thinking if they're going to do a title change with Mania just around the corner, they'll hold it off for that.
Maybe they treat the tag team titles like shit on WrestleMania, though.
That's true.
You have the Dudleys, so you might get a TLC match.
Oh, that would be nice.
And that would be a
And that's where the Dudleys win their 10th.
Yeah, that's what I'm
There you
saying.
go.
That would be a great way for New Day to go in and have the Dudleys walk out with it.
That's true. If they want to keep the Dudleys together, which I've heard, there's rumors about them breaking them up. Charlotte Becky Lynch for the title.
I think Charlotte retains.
Yeah, everybody's saying Charlotte. I'm gonna go against the grain. I think Becky wins to set up tension between Rick and Charlotte leading into WrestleMania. Because I could see her winning. I could see Becky winning. Charlotte demanding her rematch at Fastlane. Something happening with Rick where Becky retains. Charlotte becomes an even bigger heel by firing her dad or whatever. And then you set up whatever WrestleMania angle you want. I say three-way with Sasha if she's healthy. But
Or would you do 2 women's programs, which I doubt.
They won't do 2 women's programs.
The only way they would do that is if Total Divas was either doing really, really well or really, really bad. Because Monday's match was essentially a commercial with Daddy for fucking Total Divas, and it made me sick.
Hey, at least you got
back
TV.
tonight.
That's all that matters.
Right, yeah, okay, so you guys all have Charlotte. I'm picking Becky. Alberto Kalisto for the U.S. Championship.
Alberto, what I think.
Alberto.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yep, Alberto.
There's no way. It's
If
going to
he
be a
hadn't
Legion.
just won it, I would.
Yeah,
If Kalisto was still champion, I would have said Kalisto.
There's
Right.
no way that the League of Nations doesn't get involved. And
Yeah.
maybe a
some shit like that.
disqualification win for if
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
going
but
for a bonus
long story
point.
short, Alberto's keeping the title no matter what. This is one I'm not sure on. Ambrose Owens, last man standing for the IC title.
I think Ambrose retains.
I think Ambrose. I guess we. Okay, now we'll get Ryan.
Sorry.
Ambrose or Owens?
I go Ambrose.
See, I'm on the fence here because
I think if you're setting up, it depends on where you're going with it. If you're going Brock Owens, then Ambrose has to win the title. Well, retain the title.
right. But then you have Owens going into the Brock feud coming off a loss. Is that okay?
I maybe a disqualification win.
It's a last man standing match.
Huh.
Yeah.
A double one where you
Double
just have
knockout.
a crazy spot.
The old double knockout. I love it, Michael. Nothing was solved here tonight, and I love it. If
I don't
that
know.
happened,
It's kind of rough to get out of that.
part of me wants Ambrose to keep the IC title. Part of me wants him to lose and then get so mad that he lost that he enters the Rumble and turns on Roman Reigns and wins. But that's not going to happen because they're never going to.
Yeah, that won't.
They're never going to put the fucking belt on Dean Ambrose, and you're gonna. As a fan, I'm going to have blue balls for the next goddamn however long he wrestles for.
I wouldn't say ever, just not at the current moment in time.
And turning him, and again, also turning him heel on Reigns is not going to do that because the fans will still cheer Ambrose anyway.
You think they would?
I think Ambrose has
would.
more crowd support than Roman Reigns.
If that's the case, then why can't he be the guy?
Because gotta make Reigns
wouldn't
look
that be
strong.
nice?
You gotta make Reigns look strong. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then the Royal Rumble match, which I think everybody has picked Roman, except me. I'm going against the grain. I'm going to pick Triple H.
I would love to see I'm a huge Triple H fan, though.
I think that this is the only other way would be somehow Vince comes out at 30 and wins. And takes the title and vacates it.
I honestly would not want to see a 70-year-old man win the WWE title.
I wouldn't want to see it either. But Vince is like, I can still do it, goddammit.
Although I will say this, I would not complain if Bray won it.
Oh, I would love if Bray wins. That would be, first of all, be a legitimate surprise.
Yeah.
Because you never. He's done this in years past. He's had the two big guys with him, and they throw people over the top rope. And he goes, "Follow the buzzards," and you get on his knees, and he preaches and all the bullshit, and then he gets thrown over the top rope anyway.
That would be a great way to end the pay-per-view, is him holding the title with the fireflies, as they love calling it.
Oh man, if they turn the arena dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fucking cool as fuck.
And I still say they could run them as faces.
Oh, easily.
Easy.
All
they have to do is do the whole town thing again, where they say we're here.
Roman
Reigns. They do the town.
And then they can have Harper and Rowan, or whichever mix of the other three, win the tag belts from the New Day.
Right.
Yeah, just Rowan and Harper probably would be your tag team.
Maybe, but maybe Rowan and Strowman, because they're the sheep. And then, because Harper is good enough to hold the mid-card title.
Yeah, Harper's a good singles guy.
I was just saying that if normally for tag team, and you don't expose Strowman.
Yeah, that's true. But
Strowman would be better off in the tag team.
Strowman would be the hot tag.
Any of his weaknesses.
Yeah. Like I hate to make this comparison because it's not. These are not the same two guys. But Rowan could be Shawn, and Strowman could be Diesel, and he just gets the hot tag and does his shit at the end of the match. And I'm not saying that Eric Rowan can carry anybody, but he's solid. He's a good hand.
He's good.
He can do his part. Harper is definitely the all-star of those three guys.
Yeah.
And I think if they ever do the whole breakup of the Wyatt family, that's going to be the best match of that whole feud. Is going to be those two guys doing a blow-off match. That'll be fantastic. Harper versus Wyatt.
Very true.
Yeah. We have reached the top of the hour. If anybody
don't you dare be sour.
Yeah, don't you? Oh, Francesca. Does anybody have any final thoughts? Anything wrestling, etc., before we part ways this evening?
TakeMeDate.com. First month's free. Sign up now and get ready for the Rumble.
That's right.
And we couldn't go through without one last thing of Ryan leaving and then coming back. So
right, Ryan had to drop
going on for us. I hope you guys were all entertained by that, because I certainly was.
Oh, Ryan dropping
my phone is being sour.
Your phone is being very sour.
Yeah, it is. Jeez, I'm about to put this through a window.
Oh no, that's not embracing the power of positivity.
But in closing for me, I'd say, again, yes, tag me a date, sign up. A lot of new stuff going on, and one thing that they did do on SmackDown recently is they turned Lawler into a heel commentator again, and I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I won't actually. Now that you mentioned SmackDown, the new announcer is great.
Morrow, yeah,
Morrow's great. Yes, he is.
He's real good.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Yeah, no, the SmackDown, they're turning a corner. They're treating it like a real show now instead of like it's still the B show, but in the past couple of years they've been treating it like shit. So hopefully
it was more the C show with no B.
Serious, it really was. Like NXT was the B show and it was on the network only. So let's see here. We'll end things with Jason Carrion from Married at First Sight, talking about TagMeADate.com. This, of course, is the War Report podcast brought to you by TagMeADate.com. I'm your host, Vince Barry from Northeast Wrestling. Northeast Wrestling Over the Top in Bethany, Connecticut, January 30th. It's a Saturday night, NortheastWrestling.com for tickets and details. We have an over-the-top 30-man Rumble match. The title is on the line, baby. If you want to keep up with all of the musings of the War Report podcast, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you can check out YouTube.com. Go to the search bar, type in Tag Me a Date, T-A-G, me a date, all one word. Whoosh, squish it together, no spaces. Go to Tag Me a Date, hit enter. You'll get to our channel. You can see all of our shows. You can subscribe. You can like. You can see the archive, etc., etc. And again, we'll be live next Tuesday for another edition of the War Report and for more words about TagMeADate.com from A&E's Married at First Sight. I think it's A&E. Anyway, you should watch it. Jason Carrion.
Hi, I'm Jason Carrion. I got married to a complete stranger, but you don't have to go through that. I want to talk to you about something called Tag Me a Date. Now, Tag Me a Date, you create your profile, and you can meet other wrestling fans. You can meet people, develop relationships with them, and you don't got to go through what I had to go through, where trying to develop a wrestling relationship with my wife. Well, she's growing on it, but not as much as you can grow into another relationship on Tag Me a Date. The first month is free, and I personally absolutely love it, and would do it if I didn't get married to a stranger. So do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead. What are you still waiting for? Click.